Some days, you wake up already tired, not just in your body, but somewhere deeper. You scroll through your phone and see everyone moving forward, achieving, smiling, announcing milestones. Without meaning to, you start measuring your own life against theirs. Tell yourself you should be grateful. You tell yourself you should be stronger. But there's a quiet heaviness in your chest that doesn't leave. Maybe you're exhausted from trying to keep up. Maybe you're overthinking every small mistake, but you're afraid that if you slow down, you'll fall behind. You don't talk about it much, you just keep going. You show up, you perform. You smile when needed. But late at night, when the room is silent, you feel it. The sadness you've been gently pushing away. And maybe what makes it heavier is the belief that you shouldn't feel it at all. In Japan, when spring arrives, people gather beneath cherry blossom trees. The flowers bloom softly, almost shyly, and for a brief moment, the world turns pale pink. Families sit together, friends laugh, strangers pause and look up. But what makes the cherry blossom so deeply loved is not just their beauty, it's how quickly they fall. The petals drift down like quiet sighs, covering the ground in fragile color. No one rushes to stop them. No one complains that they didn't last long enough. Instead, people watch them fall with a gentle awareness. The beauty is precious because it is temporary. There is a quiet understanding there that things are meaningful. It's not despite their fragility, but because of it. Sadness is a little like those falling petals. It arrives. It stays for a while. Eventually it moves on. It does not mean something is broken. It simply means something mattered. There is an old Japanese art called kintsugi. It's a practice of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, the artisan highlights them. Fractures become part of the design. The bowl is not restored to what it was. It becomes something new. Many parts of the world we are taught to hide our cracks, to pretend we are fine, smooth over the pain and present an unbroken surface. But inside, we know where we have fractured. We know where disappointment reshaped us, or loss changed our direction, or failure humbled us. What if those cracks are not signs of weakness? What if they are proof that you have lived, loved, tried, and survived? Sadness leaves lines in us. But maybe those lines are not meant to be erased. Maybe they are meant to catch the light differently. Listen to a piece of traditional Japanese music. Notice how much space there is between the notes. The pauses are not accidents. The silence is intentional, gives shape to the sound. Without it, the melody would feel rushed and overwhelming. In Japanese aesthetics, there is a concept called ma, the space between things. The quiet pause that allows presence to deepen. In our lives, we often fear the pauses. The seasons where nothing dramatic is happening. The days that feel heavy and slow. The moments when motivation fades. And all we feel is stillness. But maybe sadness is not an interruption to your life's melody. Maybe it is the pause that gives your joy its depth. Without the quiet, we would not recognize warmth. Without longing, we would not understand gratitude. The spaces between your bright moments are not empty. They are shaping you gently. Have you ever noticed how different the world looks at sunset? The same buildings, the same streets, the same faces, but under softer light, everything feels more forgiving. In Japanese culture, there is a deep appreciation for subtle transitions. The shift from day to night, from summer to autumn, from youth to age, nothing is rushed, nothing is denied. Sadness can feel like evening light. It softens your perspective. It slows you down, makes you notice what you usually overlook. When you have been hurt, you become more careful with others. You have felt lonely. You recognize loneliness in someone else's eyes. When you have lost something, you learn to treasure what remains. Sadness does not always shrink you. Sometimes, it deepens you. Depth is its own kind of quiet beauty. Japanese wisdom does not rush to erase sadness. It does not treat it as an enemy to defeat. Instead, it allows it to sit at the same table as joy. Both are part of being alive. You do not have to solve your sadness tonight. You do not have to transform it into strength immediately. You do not have to prove that you are moving on fast enough. Maybe it is enough to simply notice it, to breathe with it, to let it exist without judgment. Like cherry blossoms falling, like a cracked bowl mended with gold. Like music shaped by silence, your sadness is not a flaw in your story. It is part of your texture, part of your humanity. And perhaps, as you sit quietly with everything you feel, you may begin to sense something softer beneath it all. A quiet understanding that nothing inside you is wrong. Sadness is part of beauty. What might that say about you?